Hi, and welcome to the Daily Windups Daily Briefing. Here we have the continental U.S. with a front washing out in the Gulf Coast states up along the East Coast. We have a short wave moving out of Montana and in lower Canada, moving in to the Great Plains, and eventually will move into the Midwest. Here we have the activity chart. Today is actually pretty quiet. Out in Arizona, Nevada, Utah, we could have some thunderstorms, as well as the Carolinas, but no large areas of severe weather today. This is the NAM 24 hours out, and you can see it's fairly quiet. We're starting to see here, way down here in the bottom right of your picture, this is Tropical Storm Isaac. And this high pressure out in the Atlantic is starting to build. Even though it's 24 hours out, you can see how much stronger it is than yesterday. And here we have the wide view Atlantic picture. The center here with this convection is Tropical Storm Isaac. Way on the right here, this is Invest 96L. And over here along the Brownsville, Texas coastline, that is 95L. Not really a threat to anybody. Now here we have Tropical Storm Isaac. It's looking fairly well this morning. The winds are at 45 miles an hour, officially. It's going to continue moving westward because of this trough to the north will keep it moving westward. But you can see the banding features, and it's starting to get some good outflow, and it looks like it's starting to breathe pretty well. Here is the cone of uncertainty for Tropical Storm Isaac. And as you can see, the National Hurricane Center keeps it moving pretty close to west until Hispaniola. And that's because they're seeing that short wave moving into the Midwest, which should allow weakness to turn Tropical Storm Isaac, or Hurricane Isaac, whichever it is, more northwest. And hopefully it doesn't hit Florida, but they're in the path right now. And here is the model solutions, the spaghetti model solutions for Tropical Storm Isaac. And you can see they're very, very well clustered together here, at least through hour 72 or even hour 96. After that, they're still clustered pretty well together over Florida, except somewhat to take it more westward and somewhat to take it more eastward into the Carolinas. And as you can tell by the cone of uncertainty that I just showed you, the National Hurricane Center is hedging their bets on the consensus, which is near Florida. Here is the intensity models. And as you can see, they definitely want to bring it into make it a hurricane. Where they're having trouble is over the islands, the Greater Antilles Islands. The intensity models never do well over this because it's so terrible. It's so hard to find out when it's going to be over land, and so my bet is it'll become a Category 2 hurricane if it stays away from land for very long. And here is our exclusive size estimate, exclusive to the daily windup. As you can see, our 48 hours out outlook also brings it to near hurricane strength. It initialized at 43.28 knots, which is in keeping with current observations, and everything seems to be looking well with this, so I have no major complaints with the size model. I'm fairly well in agreement, as well as the consensus models. Now this is one important outlier in the consensus models. This is the ECMWF. These are the ensemble mean low pressures for Thursday the 30th. And these bright pinks are where all the members have their different solutions bringing the storm. As you can see, they bring it way into the Gulf. This is a very different picture than the spaghetti models were showing. And this is so important because simply it's the ECMWF. If it was another model, it wouldn't be so important. But I would say still, folks from Louisiana eastward still need to pay attention to this storm because things can change. And I do believe they have a G4 mission scheduled for either today or tomorrow or both. So hopefully we can get some better information. Okay, here we have the GFS hour 72 for Saturday the 25th. And what I wanted to show here was, look how big this high pressure is. It has stretched now clear into near the Houston area. And it's breaking down a little bit from the short wave along the Ohio Valley. But this is where it gets tricky, because if the short wave isn't as strong or it moves off too quickly, it will not steer Tropical Storm Isaac to the northwest. It will keep going north. Once again, this is not what the consensus models have. The consensus models have it moving into Florida. But nonetheless, it goes to show you that these things can change very rapidly. And finally, I wanted to show the GFS hour 144 for Tuesday the 28th. And this is the GFS. It brings a tropical storm into Florida. And it's a tropical storm because in the model run, it was kept over the islands most of its life once it entered this area. So that's a possibility. I would say it would be more likely that it would be stronger than this, but either way we go, we're going to have a big storm. So I caution people to prepare themselves for anywhere from the Louisiana coast all the way to the Carolinas, since it's so far out. And as everybody that lives in the hurricane area knows, once they start issuing warnings, the water's out in about 24 minutes. So that's all I have for now. Thanks for watching the Daily Windup. I'm Donald Flowers.